Alrighty. Hello, everybody. This is episode 49 of Shoot the Breeze, a chill interview and a chill time all around for you and me. I am your host, HeavyDivider. Alongside me is a really kind individual. Matter of fact, they're a very kind soul indeed. Somebody you can easily just basically have a nice chat with, as well as just basically a friendly person you can always say hello to. My guest for tonight is AngelOfTheMoon, but we'll call him Angel for short. Welcome on in.
Hello.
Hello.
It's good to be here.
Mm-hmm. And from what I can tell on hand, you said this is your first time kind of like being interviewed for the most part, and just basically, okay, well, for the most part.
This is my first time with all this kind of thing.
Yep, I can tell you on hand for the.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting, but I can assure you on hand, it'll always be a good time on hand. So let's go ahead and get down to business here with the first question on hand. How the hell do we meet?
Well, I think we met through the stream team when I joined the stream team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be correct.
So I joined the stream team through Sol the Star, who had said that there were openings for a stream team, and I started going full-time streaming again. So he told me to sign up, and surprise, surprise, I got in. Well, and then yeah, I've got to meet everyone on the team.
Yep. I can assure you on hand for the most part, each person has like their own individuality, like different personalities on hand, but all together on hand, they're really good people. So I still haven't got a chance to actually sit down and get a chance to meet people.
All of them.
I haven't got a chance, but I'm doing it one by one here. Like for these interviews as well as just be able to get a chance to see how they are here and there. But for the most part, I hope you're having a good time, especially in Soccer Plus, just to be able to get a chance to know everybody on hand. Be it little by little.
Oh yeah, I've met a lot of great people on it.
There we go. There we go on hand. So, let me ask you about your second question on him being the VRChat origins. What got you into VRChat in general? Like, be it like a video, maybe an ad, something that kind of caught your attention to be able to give it a try?
Well, my friends got a VR, and they were obsessive over playing VRChat and just going on and chilling. And at the time, I could only come on computer because I didn't have enough money to buy a VR. But then about a couple months later, my parents decided to buy a VR, and I just thought I'll try it on VRChat. And I hopped on, I really enjoyed it, and I thought maybe I could just use this because at the time I didn't have a streamer model or any sort of thing to do with VTubing. So I decided, what if I just did just chatting on like a nice little scenery like this one, and just talk and stuff with having an avatar, but without having to like I don't know, have it all rigged and stuff, because I was quite low on budget then, so it was quite nice to be able to have that just chatting experience with somebody actually being able to see you and like how the way you move and express yourself, but not actually be a face on a screen. Or nothing on screen, you know?
Oh, I get you.
It was good to have something to look at.
Yeah. And
so, yeah, that's how I ended up coming onto VRChat.
And just be able to be, like, very expressive of what you want to do, and just, you know, be able, because I gotta tell you, hey, it's a blessing to have, like, an interaction with anybody, no matter what, just because you want to get a chance to know people, like, far away, or even if they were close by and you least expected on hand. Hell, being able to meet and talk be able to meet and talk to people like from across different countries is always a blessing too, because you didn't think you'd be able to do that.
Yeah, like I've met a lot of really cool people from across the world. Like I've met people now in Africa, and it's great to have at least somewhere to actually be at least somewhat human, and have these kind of interactions and movements. Like I can actually move my hands. I'm a very expressive person with my hands, so I like to express myself by just kind of going like yes and that kind of thing. So I'm very big with facial expressions and hands movements, gestures, I guess.
Yeah, I get you.
Like I'm pretty sure I can do a thumbs up. How did I do a thumbs up? That's how I did it.
There you go. There you go. One thumb up at a time here. But yeah, I was gonna say, I understand because, like, I'm expressive too. Like, I usually like to describe stuff with my hands here and there. It's mostly because sometimes, you know, when you're not really very good with your words to try to describe like a scenario or say a story, you usually have your hands here, even though it doesn't contribute much to like describing what's in front of you. It's just basically there as to tell a story. Helps a little bit. It's kind of like a story thing for the most part, just be able to describe it while moving your hands around here and there. So I can show you that on hand. But I will say, let me ask about your hobbies on hand. Now, I noticed on hand you play Black Desert Online. I also noticed on hand that you also play League of Legends. But I would like to know, besides like video game in general, do you have any other hobbies besides video games? Or is there like something you mostly enjoy, like genre-wise, or like something that basically you're very particularly interested in?
Well, apart from video games, I'm currently actually studying computing, and I'm really, really interested in the web development side of things. So I do occasionally do some mock websites to test out different designs and stuff. I also do art, so I've been working on digital art, as I've just recently got a drawing pad. And also I used to do a lot of hand-drawn art and clay as well. And something I've done recently is I make bracelets out of these threads that actually feel quite comfy. So I do a lot of things apart from just gaming, but gaming's probably the main one.
No, I get you.
As sad as that may sound.
No, it's not really. I mean, put it this way. Usually, if you're able to do anything on the internet, like, put it this way. Streaming itself is a form of arts and crafts. Just because of how much time you put in just to be able to, like, articulate a little bit, sometimes to be able to, like, show things off that you didn't possibly be able to get a chance to show off on it. Not only that, you'll be able to show off different types of talents you have on hand, in addition to be able to show what kind of aesthetics you enjoy. You know, what makes you, you. So.
Yeah, it's really good to help express yourself, especially on streams. Like, you could just express yourself in many different ways and show who you are, even through like the games you play or how you play them, like anything like that, really. It's just a great way to express yourself.
Yeah, definitely on hand.
Oh, I did it again.
Now you're all good. You're all good. You know, trust me when I say this on hand. It's something that you usually shake off over time, but I promise you on hand, when you look at your hands here and there or so, it's something that you can easily. It just takes time. Trust me. It's a habit, but it'll basically be a habit over time, but especially when you know you're not streaming or not.
I was like, what's people say?
Yeah, all good.
No.
You're all good on hand. But let me ask you about the VRChat Scene. Now, I don't know when you started VRChat, but over the course of the time it basically was here, it began to gradually like evolve, change, different systems, different kind of like things over time for the most part. But I will say right now, in this current present right now of where we are, what do you think about VRChat in general?
I mean, I find it a really good place, as there's different things to, like, games that people have made and worlds to just, these really nice scenic worlds that you can just come sit and chill in and listen to some music sometimes. For example, like, if you're having a bad day in real life, you could come and maybe sit in a nice chilled place and take your mind off it in a different scenery, you know? It's really good for an escape, as well as just to have fun and play different games, meet new people. It's just a really good place overall, I think, and like especially with like the new safety features they've got as well, you can make sure that you only see what you want to see and stuff like that. It's really good to just be able to come out and chill and find some people to talk to you, though I think it is a little more difficult to find people to talk to these days, as they've all got their own little friendship groups in VRChat, so it's quite difficult maybe to get into one. But I definitely say it is worth like coming on here and just looking at scenery and trying to find people if you can.
I get you. It's one of those things too, which I still find it humorous on hand, where VRChat is actually a very small community on hand, like a very small community. Yeah, it's still kind of like weirdly divided in different kind of groups on hand here and there. Like you're gonna have like different people from different kind of like sides on it. Like, you know, you got your RP groups, you got your dance groups, you got the world creators, model makers, different kinds of groups on it. You even got the party scene kind of groups on hand. Like everybody's got their own different kind of things here and there, but it's one of those things where all together it's brought together by one thing, and that's basically just this game. So Even if they got their own different thing, they're being brought together by this in general. But,
Yeah, definitely. Like, lots of people from all different communities and, different, maybe backgrounds or anything are being brought together by this game, which I find really cool.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things too. It constantly evolves over time. So basically, for where we are right now, it's probably gonna get a little bit bigger in the sense of like udon or like ways to basically make worlds more aesthetic. Like where basically, even if you see a sunset here or so, it'll feel like that's not like a rotation in the background or so. It'll just feel like it's more cloudy and just like much more like realistic on hand. It was just a matter of time when we least expect it on hand. But let me ask about the VTuber scene now. VTuber scene now. When did you get started VTubing?
Actually, I had my debut about a week and a bit ago. It wasn't that long ago since I got my model actually up on the screens finally. Actually, I think it was about a week ago now. Yeah, it's a week ago.
Well, no, I got you. Hey.
It was about a week?
Yeah, about a week ago for the most part, but starting out here. But I was going to say, has there been any influence on hand for you to be a VTuber or so? Like, have you watched like any kind of like certain streamers on hand that kind of like make you want to do that? Or just kind of like one of those things that was like, kind of like gradually over time you see it, but you didn't have interest in it, and then it's like, you know what, I might as well go ahead and give it a shot. See how I feel about it.
Yeah, with me it was more, I'd seen some of my friends even go into it and just saw some actual people doing it and I thought, that looks cool. I don't know if I would do something like that. But then I thought maybe it would be a good idea, like when I got into streaming more and more, to not just have a voice behind this like game. You'd actually have something expressing themselves on the screen, but that isn't my own face though. And then I went back to the thought of VTubing, and I was like, maybe that would be a good idea. I should go into something like that, because then I don't have to show my own face as such, but I can still express myself, and like people will actually be able to put the voice to some form of face. So I just thought, I'll give this a shot. I'll get into VTubing and let's see how this goes. And so far, I'm loving it. It's really fun, and like people can actually see you and see you express yourself, and also see the times when VTubing, the actual recorder goes wild and you glitch out and you're suddenly this squid like this. But yeah, it can be.
No, I got you. Hey, as long as you're having a fun time doing it and just be able to like express it in the way that you want to express it, and basically your entire community here wants to be able to see you happy, then hey, it's all worth it in the end. No matter. And like I said, sometimes when it comes to like things on any technology-wise, even if you started out low or so, it'll gradually like get bigger and bigger. Like you'll begin to improve, unlock some different things to be able to try some different ideas here. It just takes time, but you'll see it through. That I can tell you on hand.
Yeah.
For what you can do. So. Let me ask about your VRC memories on hand. Now, is there anything that comes to your mind when I say VRC memories? Like, say it could be like a funny moment. It could be something memorable that, you know, from this game that basically sticks with you or so.
It was one of my first couple streams of VRChat. I got somebody come in, who I was like, yeah, why don't you just come and hop in my world and we can chill? They hopped in and they had this eagle avatar. It was a red eagle, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just pull this egg out and go, "Do you want it?" And I'm like, "What is this?" And they were like, "Try and hold it." I try to grab it and it drops on the floor and it cracks, and I'm just like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And this guy's just like, "Oh, don't worry, it's meant to do that." And I was like, "But I just broke an egg." And he was just like, "That is my child, what have you done?" Like, I'm sorry. But that was one of the first real memories I really had of this game, was somebody coming in with a very nice eagle costume avatar. But I was scared of, like, from that moment on, of ever taking something off of another person. Because I don't want to drop it.
You don't know.
And break the child.
Break the child. No,
They broke the child.
They broke the child. I was gonna say, put it this way, it could have been a lot worse. I'm just saying, it could have been a pop-up scare. It could have been something that basically you would have least expected on hand.
Oh, there was. They had a bunch of different avatars, to the point they brought one up, which was literally the skeleton with a trumpet, and started walking around. And I think there was one which was Five Nights at Freddy's themed, and when you least expect it, it turned into like this massive thing that was like towering over you, and I was like, oh no.
I was gonna say,
but yeah, it was pretty funny.
I will say that just makes me think, since you're in VR, since you have VR for the most part and everything, with anything like pop-up scare wise or so, does that kind of like immersiveness from it really get to you? Or is it just kind of like one of those things where it's just like, you know, it's not real, but it's just kind of like, you know, it got the blood moving for the most part from just basically being scared?
Oh, I mean, in all honesty, in VRChat, it didn't really like scare me. But I have played another game in VR. Cool, like I've played Phasmophobia, but in VR. And I will never do it again. Never again. I cannot go into the house without curling up in a ball on the floor. It's because I got hunted once when I was in VR, and it scared me so bad that I cannot. I can't. I could go in fine on computer. I could go rocketing in, be the first person, get everything done. But on VR, my friends have to drag me in because I'm sat there like, no, don't. I'm not doing it.
No, I got you.
But yeah, it's fun, but it's oh, they look too real.
I mean, I will say on hand, like, just to let you know, with Phasmophobia, it's one of those kind of like you build up the tolerance of it as time goes by. Like, I'll tell you, I was scared of it when I first did it, too. Trust me, I was. Because I didn't know what to do for the most part when that happened on hand. Like,
the first time I ever played Phasmophobia, I wouldn't walk in the door. I sat there and went, I won't go in. Don't make me do it. Please.
No, I got you. It's just kind of like, you know, at first, you know, you try to get used to it. Yeah, you're going to get your first scare. Yeah, you're probably going to get killed the first time on hand. But after that or so, you're basically just memeing around in Phasmophobia like, yeah, there's a ghost and everything, but I'm taking these Chuck Taylors with me. They don't need these shoes. Just, like, take a bunch of items from the house.
Oh, no!
Yeah, you can take certain house.
I'm sorry, but saying shoes just reminds me of something.
What?
In my, in Phasmophobia, I have a certain friend, cough, quite quiet if you're there. Every time we go inside, he'll get the shoes and he'll put them in the sink. And he'll go, where are the shoes? I need more shoes. Have you found any shoes? They need to go in my sink. And then he just sits there and has a ritual with all these shoes in the sink. And then the ghost started hunting once. And he was sat by his shoe sink, and it killed him right by the shoe sink. He died where he had his ritual.
He died where he had his ritual. They say he walked a mile in many shoes on hand. Sadly, it caused him to walk out of life in general.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, funny enough, actually in Phasmophobia, I didn't realize it on hand, but I'm pretty sure the developers did it as a joke, but in one of the houses on hand, on one of the desks, there's actually a Yankee with a brim on it. So basically, it's one of the most happiest moments of my life when I saw it and basically ran out of the house saying, I stole its Yankee.
That sounds amazing.
Trust me, there's a lot of things you can find in houses on hand. You just got to be very observant. Also, if you ever do go back to Phasmophobia, avoid anything that looks like a doll. Like, not like one of those, like, you know, like one of those dolls with like hair or anything. I'm talking about one of those that looks like a voodoo doll. Don't touch it, because that
looks like a voodoo doll. Yeah.
Don't ever touch it. Don't ever touch it on hand for the most part.
You can take pictures of them and get interaction bonus from them. You can get the money from them, but yeah, I found a couple of those. There's actually the new map out in the beta with 2 new ghosts. I've tried that out a bit. The new map is fun, but my friend steals all the electronics and says, oh, they don't need them anymore, they're dead, and they put them in the in the van. We'll be leaving. There's just a pile of electronics in the corner.
I mean, they did add like some new events on hand from it, like new ghost events. One of them basically being like, even if you had a bunch of doors open, the ghost event would basically cause the entire doors to basically slam shut. Like all doors, basically in your vicinity.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah, that's a ghost event.
Because that happened once when we were stood in it was a hallway ghost in Willow, and we walked in and all the doors slammed shut, and we were like, wait, what? That's not good.
Yeah.
But we looked for fingerprints on it, it still didn't give us any.
I know, funny enough, we haven't even found any certain fingerprints during the new update and everything. I will say for the most part, we usually play it on beta, because that way we have better access to, like, anything else on hand. Funny enough, one of the ghost events, which I don't even think was...
Yeah, we were playing on the beta as well.
Funny enough, I don't even think it's a ghost event, but one time on hand, there was a mannequin that was, like, down below in the basement on hand at one point, and then at a certain point, we were basically going back and forth, through the front door and everything. One of us kind of, like, went for the front door, and then out of nowhere, we see a mannequin all the way down the hallway that was supposed to be in the basement, but somehow it came all the way up here. So I was like, oh, that's strange. I don't think that's a ghost event, but still, it's still one of the spookiest things in the world. Just to see it like a mannequin just moved all the way up here. But let me talk about
someone with a mannequin phobia is gonna have a great time. I'm sorry.
I mean, trust me, in a world like VRChat where it has like certain worlds, including the devouring, yeah, you're not gonna like it just because if you're afraid of mannequins, you're not gonna like it one bit. So, but
yeah, no.
Let me ask about the VRChat Current Present. Now, when I say Current Present, I mean from the time you first started to the time we are here and now, current present time, what are some of the things you're glad they changed over time to some of the things you wish they didn't change at all? Like, it could be security, it could be like, even if it's a certain trend that you wish would have stayed, or maybe gone away.
I mean, I definitely like the fact that they've added the safety stuff in, especially like the stream mode stuff. That's definitely a nice thing to have, just when you're just kind of streaming. But I still find it weird how they allow these very not safe avatars to just be there. I question, but other than that, I'm glad they've got the safety thing, so you don't have to, like, if they are a new user or they're not trusted, then you can't see any of that. Which is actually quite good, because when I first came into VRChat and there wasn't any safety features on, like, you would see them everywhere, and it was like, no, I don't want to see this.
No, I know the feeling. Like early 2018 or so, where basically it's like,
yeah,
especially back then when like the pug wasn't like a no man's zone or everything. You went in there, basically you see some very interesting things happen, and then you just see like one person. Just like one specific person just come in here just basically to screw everything up on hand. Or just like... Yep. That's the thing. That's the thing on hand. I'm hoping for the it's, again, changing the times, but hopefully with the new features and everything, even if it's not going to be like, nobody goes to the pug anymore. Maybe normal users or so, but like, people who are like veterans of the game don't even go near the pug. Just because of how things have been here and there. But, yeah, things will change over time for the most part. But I will say, anything you're looking forward towards from VRChat in general? Because I know they're going to be adding some more stuff. Some different other stuff on hand.
I mean, to be honest, I'm looking forward to be able to, I know this is not really VRChat itself related, can't speak, but be able to upload my Vtuber model to be able to use it. Because right now I only just got kind of looked up and saw that you have to have your VRChat account connected to your Steam account to be able to upload the avatar. So I don't technically have enough hours to be able to upload my model right now. So I need to get the hours whilst VRChat account is active on this one, and then I should be able to do it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I forgot they have got hour restrictions on here, where basically you have to have this amount of hours to even upload avatars. I forgot about that. I forgot about that for the longest time. I forgot that existed, to be honest with you. But
yeah, I kind of only looked at that recently because I've never really thought about uploading an avatar before until I got my my model.
But hey, for the most part, once you get it uploaded and everything, you'll be able to, like, you know, roam around as who you want to be, or so, you know, something that basic appeals to you for the most part on hand. So, it'll be all good. Be all good for the most part. Okay, this leads me to the last bit of the different topics I have on it, that being anime. It's a curveball because anime's a curveball because there's some people who watch anime, there's some people who may not have enough time to watch anime, but it'll be a curveball nonetheless. So, three-part question in this, for the most part. First question is, when I say the word anime, what's the first series that comes to your mind?
Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul.
I have been obsessed with that anime since the moment I started watching it.
I've seen the theme song to it get memed on so many times.
Oh, it is a big old meme, but it is also a great anime.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the first animes I got introduced to, so it's always got that special place in my heart. But I do love the anime. It's a great anime.
I got you. That's one of the things I
may or may not have rewatched it 16 times.
Well, you know it's a great anime if you're able to do that, just saying. Like, be able to just, like, take it all in. So, but, second question on hand is, if you ever had a top 3, top 5 of, like, whatever anime series that you love the most or so, what would that be?
Oh, God.
And even if you can't come up with a list on hand, it could be just, like, what comes to your mind, you know?
Well, obviously Tokyo Ghoul, because... Tokyo Ghoul. Oh, God. What's it called? Fruits Basket. That one was a good one. Also, I don't know if this one doesn't count as a series, it was more of a movie, but A Silent Voice. That one hit me in the feels real bad.
I've watched it.
I've watched it. It's my heart. I can't. But yeah, that one's definitely one of my top 3. I flippin' love Shoko.
Well,
but yeah, those ones would probably be my top 3.
I got your hand. And which is funny enough since you mentioned Silent Voice, because that leads me to the last part of that, asking what is the anime that hits you close to home, like you relate to it more than anything else, like just like heart-wise, you just emotional-wise.
Silent Voice.
Silent Voice. Okay, that's what I thought.
Because like, especially the guy, and just the fact that he walks through a crowd of people with axes and he's just looking down. It's just me. It's me.
No, I got you.
Oh man.
Trust me, it's one of those things that everybody in the world can relate to. It's one of those things where everybody in the world can relate to it, because everybody has been in that position on hand, being in school or just like IRL, like walking through like public in general. Like everybody's had that feeling. Everybody had that feeling.
So it's definitely a big one for people to relate to, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
it's definitely just something.
This leads me to my last question here. Let me do one thing here. Now, let me just turn this around for you real quick. And let me see here. There we go. So, this leads me to my last question. Now, the question I have for you is, what are your goals and dreams? And at best, what is the best advice you can ever give to anybody? I'll let you have center stage for this.
Oh. Well, I guess the best advice I could give to people is just go for it. Don't let anybody hold you back, because the one thing in life is so many people will try to hold you back. They'll try to tell you, you can't do it. You can't do it. Like, maybe because you're autistic, maybe because you've got a disability, or something along those lines. But you can do it. If you just believe in yourself, like I believe in you, because you can do it. But other than that, it's my goals, I guess just in the future to be able to spread awareness of people with autism, because I myself have autism. And I used to get called in primary school and I didn't even know I had autism. They were like, oh, you're autistic, autism, they were using it as an insult. And I find that wrong, because people with autism have, like, we're the same as everybody else. We've got our own unique, like, perks about us, and, like, obviously, we don't let it stop us. So, why should we let somebody with saying this stupid thing stop us? Like, we need to spread this awareness of autism people are the same. We're all amazing people, and I want to get that message out there, that autism is not a form of like word to be able to use as bullying or anything like that. That explanation was horrible, but just autism should not be used as a form to be able to bully somebody. It's just not right at all. So I really want to help, maybe use my streams, use just anything I can to help spread awareness of this. Other than that, I just want to hopefully one day maybe grow a bit bigger on Twitch, and just, I guess, achieve my further on goals of maybe doing something to do with computing, or just at least living a happy life. That's all I want to do. And yeah, that's really it. Just go for it. You can achieve what you want to achieve. I believe in you. Oh yeah. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
No, I get you. I get you, and it's very noble of you to do that. Very noble, on hand. Like, I've talked about this on hand, like, before the, okay, let me put it this way. Before the stream and everything on hand, they were telling me about, you know, being autistic and everything, and I might as well basically share this with them on hand. I've already shared it on hand, but I'll share it with you guys on hand, but for the most part, I'm pretty much autistic as well. Asperger's syndrome, and it's one of those things where basically, it's kind of hard. It's difficult to explain, but it's more along the lines of basically, it's hard to do certain things on hand because of how it is, you know, like, put it this way, we're able to do complex things. Anything in the world, complex-wise, we're able to do it, you know, no problem whatsoever. But when it comes to simple things, it's hard to do. It really is. And all I'm just going to say for the most part is it's also one of those things where when you have a dream, a goal, no matter what it is or so, you want to see it to the end. Like, you want to see it at the end because
100%.
It makes, 100% makes a difference, because it makes a difference for yourself more than anything else, because you want to see it. You want to see it happen, and you want to basically, you know, prove to everybody and prove to the world itself that, you know, whatever it is, disability, whatever you're going through for the most part, it does not hinder you from basically achieving what you want to have or be able to work towards. So I can relate to it 100% on hand, and all I could tell you on hand is that as long as you be determined, be persistent, be patient, see it through to the end, okay? See it through. You got this, and in addition, you've got people here who support you in this chat here. Everybody here came here to support you, and they want you to see it through.
Aww.
Yeah, they want you to see it through on it. Yep. Yep. Everybody wants to see you through for the hand. But speaking of which, before we close out and everything, does anybody have any questions for Angel here? Any questions you want to ask him at all, for the most part? While everybody's coming up with questions on hand, I do have a question. AngelOfTheMoon. Where did that name come from?
Okay, well, I used to have my name as, because I couldn't think of a username at the time. Mm-hmm. And I always had this theme to do with, like, moons and wolves, because wolves and the moon and that kind of thing. I got to that point where being wolfy, I was getting bullied the hell out of for being wolfy. So I thought I still want to keep that moon theme, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit. And at that time, it was just thinking of brainstorming ideas. And then I thought about ages ago wanting my name to be something like Fallen Angel or something along those lines. So I thought, how about I combine those and just like have the angel on the moon, Angel of the Moon, like, and Angel of the Moonlight, that kind of thing. It was just then I started brainstorming everything in my mind, and I just thought that this fits. This is what I want to be. Mm-hmm. So I kept going. I thought about it for a little bit and just went, nope, this is it. This is what I want. So official change to Angel of the Moon, and I don't regret it at all.
I got you.
It was the best change I've ever made to this.
Mm-hmm. And plus, it's one of those things too where if it's really, you know, if it's something that basically you relate to and it's something that tells you more than anything else, for the most part, everybody's going to recognize that name on hand, for the most part, no matter what or so. Everybody will recognize it. Quiet.
I mean, people recognize me by a lot of things.
Yeah, there you go.
I get called K, Angel, Angel of the Moonlight, Angel of the Moon, those kinds of things.
Different nicknames on hand here and there. different nicknames for the most part. Trust me, there's some interesting ones that basically people are gonna have for you. That's basically gonna be like a personal joke between you and them, or so.
Oh, I've already got a couple.
Yep, that'll happen. I can assure you, that'll happen on him. Quite Quiet has a question for you, asking who was the first streamer you've watched?
Oh, got the first. Ooh. Well. Let's think. I think the first streamer I watched was a streamer called Patrick Static. I found him just basically scrolling through YouTube one day, and I saw that he had Twitch links, so I thought, I don't really watch streams that much, I might go check him out. So I hopped in, saw how like active he was between him and his community, how just positive the community was, and how they were also supportive of him and what he wanted to do and how he was doing certain things on stream. And I just thought, that's what I want my chat to be like. That's what I want my streams to be like. Just something positive and chill, and just something that people can maybe come here as a safe space if they wanted to. Just chill out and relax and, you know, have a good time. That's all I want from my streams. For people to have fun and be happy.
No, makes sense. I mean, because it's one of those things where...
Also, hella quiet.
Yep, they're there. They're there on to be able to share for the most part, and just be able to... Well, again, they're there because they want to be there for you. So, yeah, let you know. I will say, when you mentioned Patrick's stag, I'll be honest with you, I don't know the name, but it made me think of another person, which, funny enough, in VRC, there's been many personalities that came by, and since you mentioned Patrick, there's one person that I thought of named Swole Patrick, which was basically their personality of basically being the buff fish from SpongeBob, but they sound like Tyler 1.
That's great. That's great.
So basically, all they did was basically had like the Tyler 1 mannerisms, and then basically just like burst out screaming for unknown reasons. It's like, okay. And it's just like a tiny swelled up fish that was just like, it could be like the size of your ankle in VRC. It's just like, oh, interesting. And then you hear it coming out of its mouth. It's like, oh god, I heard that mic break.
Oh no. Oh, that sounds great.
But Starfallen Gaming asked, what would make you feel like you have lived a happy, good life?
Well, hello there, Kiwi. But what would make me feel like I've lived a happy, good life? If I've made some people happy, if I've made my mark, just, you know, spreading the awareness of autism like I planned to do, at least getting as far as I've gotten now on Twitch, like, I'm proud of that. I already feel, like, really accomplished with Twitch. Like, it's been just such an amazing experience, and meeting everybody, I just want to make sure that everybody around me that I know is happy. As long as they are happy, I'm happy. That's all I want. As long as I can make people around me smile maybe once when they're down, help them in any way that I can, just be there for them as a shoulder if they need to cry on it or something. Just anything like that, I just want to be there for them. And as long as they know that, and that they're happy, that's all I could ever want.
No, that's noble. Very noble on hand. And it's one of those things too where you're going to be putting a lot in just to be able to make sure, you know, everybody's having a good day on hand. Because I can assure you on hand, there's going to be a lot of people on hand that will, at certain points, you know, they will stop by our chat or so, and they might have like a story to share with you or so. It's just going to be one of those things where, depending on what you're doing or so, it'll just be like a little bit of here and there for the most part, just to let you know. So yeah. All I'm gonna say is basically just whenever you do like talk to people in chat or so, or basically whenever you do have like the positive or so, just, you know, trust me, you're gonna be putting out a lot of energy on hand, so you might be a little bit tired after each stream on hand. Just let you know that. I share this experience on hand because I share this experience on hand because I know how it is. I know how it is, you know, trying to, you know, help people out and do the best you can to make sure that they're not completely down here and there. So it's hard. It's hard sometimes, but it's very exhausting.
Fun as it is.
It's fun but exhausting too.
Yeah, as just as fun and as happy as it is, it takes a lot of energy out of you.
No, it definitely does. Anybody got any other questions you would like to ask Angel here? Any questions on him for the most part? I will say, do you have a specific game genre that you play for the most part? Or, like, something that basically... Is it just a little bit of variety of, like, whatever, like, interests you on hand?
It's mostly what interests me at the time, because I've switched between a bunch of different genres of games. Like, I go from MMOs to some RPGs, to then, over to some, like, FPS games occasionally, then I'll go to something really casual. It just depends on my mood. Because there'll be days where I'm like, let's play some Phasmo, let's get a group together, let's play some Phasmo. Other days I'm like, let's just chill on League of Legends, or just AFK on BDO, do something there. Yeah, there's just different days, different games. See whatever comes to me.
See what comes to your mind. I got you on hand. Because trust me, it's one of those things where, like, I got a set schedule when it comes to certain things I like to do, just because that way I know how to keep a schedule of what I'm doing, because otherwise, you know, you get, like, so many unfinished games that you haven't done. So.
Yeah, I feel that. I do need to finish a couple games that I have planned to do at some point.
But yeah, anybody got any questions you would like to ask Angel at all, for the most part? I just want to make sure that I don't accidentally leave anybody behind on hand, because I know for a fact that people have, like, certain questions you would want to ask them here and there, so. I will say on hand, I will ask you this or so, as you kind of grow as a streamer or so, is there any, like, say, VTubers or, like, say, any streamers, besides Patrick Static, that you take a little bit after from here and there or so? Like, something that will basically will more, like, you take it a little bit as kind of like a life lesson and morph it together to become something of your own here and there?
Yeah, I watch quite a bit of this, these two Irish streamers. One of them is Call Me Kevin, the other one's RT Game. Like, RT Game just doesn't care about playing the game properly. He always plays it like, it's some form of fun joke of whatever he wants to do with it. Like, with City Skyline, he made this crazy city bathtub out of sewage, and yeah, he does a bunch of just crazy things, and he just goes wild with it, lets his imagination go, and he just has fun with it, and that's just what I want to do with it. And then Call Me Kevin just he just has a laugh with everything, and like that's just what I want to do. I just want to be that chill person that will just have a laugh and, you know, talk everything out with chat, and yeah.
I just realized, aren't they part of that, there's like an Irish group party that's basically consists of four of them, both of them being like RT Games, Call Me Kevin, the other two being Dahi Denogla and Terrorizer?
Yeah,
okay,
and occasionally Jacksepticeye will
Jacksepticeye in there too,
and be like,
I got you.
Yeah, he hops in occasionally. But yeah, they're all really funny, and they just have their own little unique charm about them. And like, it just makes me feel like you can have that charm about yourself and let that shine. And just you know, if you want to be funny and do games in your own way, then do it in your own way. It's whatever you want to do.
I get you. And there you go. Just do it in your way of what you want to do for the most part. Quite Quiet asks, what is your most recent obsession?
Obsession? Oh god. I presume that means game-wise? Or is it just anything?
I think it depends on a little bit of what it is that your recent obsession is. Like, it could be gameplay, it could be like a certain food, it could be like a certain thing that you've been taking up hobby-wise or so.
Oh,
I'm not sure, because it's a little bit vague, but I'm assuming it's a little bit of anything that comes to you.
Yeah, I think it's just whatever. Oh god, let's see. Obsession. Oh god. I'm trying to think. I definitely think it's probably gonna be either me playing BDO, because that's something that people have to drag me off of. And the other thing maybe being just my bracelets. I can sit there for hours on end making those, and then I realize the time and I'm like, oh wait, I need sleep now.
It shows you're passionate about it. Shows you're a lot of passion to it. So.
But yeah, it depends which one you're really on about. But yeah, either
just
play Black Desert Online, because I'm obsessed with that MMORPG, and I shouldn't be.
Yeah, you're gonna be putting a lot of hours in it.
And Yeah, I may or may not have about like 600 and something hours in the game. I mean, I'm not the one with the most hours in the game. My boyfriend has more than me, but I still have quite a few. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm guilty.
No, it's all good.
It's my
That's good. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. And plus, it's one of those things where even if the grind does not stop, depending on what you're looking for in Black Desert Online, at least for the most part, you're having fun along the way. Just basically, doing it on your own time, sharing it on stream, or basically having that quality time with you and your BF. So that's the important thing. So, but 100. Okay, 1.6k hours in BTO says Start Falling.
Yep, that's him.
There you go.
Just 1,000 more.
Well, either way, that's dedication if I've ever seen it, because I've seen people very dedicated to, like, Final Fantasy 14. Like, they put so many hours in on hand, too.
I mean, to be honest, I probably have more hours in World of Warcraft.
God.
I've got way too many hours in World of Warcraft, but I don't know how to check.
I think the only time I have more hours on hand is basically, like, VRC, like... I haven't looked and see, but I think I'm past like 1,000 hours in this game. Must be because of social aspect. Like past any other multiplayer game I've ever played on hand, which is kind of funny. Oh, Pintahead has asked, cats or dogs?
Oh god, I don't know how to answer that one because I love them both. But I'd say I'm definitely more of a dog person specifically, but I have owned both cats and dogs and I've loved them both. They've both been like my little buddies. But yeah, I'd say I'm definitely a bit more of a dog person than a cat person.
Well, I'm a little bit of both. Like, it's one of those things because I used to own a dog and I used to own a cat, and all I could say is both of them are very needy. So it's like, I don't see a difference. It's like, all right, you want to be picked up, okay, I guess you want to be put back down. All right, there you go. Like,
okay, you don't want to be picked up anymore.
Yeah, okay. It's like they just want the attention for a little bit, and then they just want to be put back down on the ground. So yeah, that's about it. Starfallen just said I've got at least like 5 times more time in World of Warcraft. 5 times more time.
Okay, Kiwi. Okay. He's trying to flex on me again.
Good lord. Quite quiet asks, birds or fish?
Oh, that's 2 very different things. I
think it depends on, like, if you...
I don't know.
I think it depends on would you own a canary compared to, like, owning a goldfish. Or something. That's what I assume.
I don't know, honestly. I've never owned either, but, it would be interesting owning a bird. I would say that. It would definitely be an experience. But depends on the type of bird, honestly, because I do love falconers. I have a friend that's a falconer, and like I got to hold on to their birds, and they're amazing. I do love birds, but yeah, it does depend on the kind of bird. But yeah, probably more birds than fish, because kind of I'd say you go a little bit. I don't want to sound wrong here because fish are always like amazing. The look of them are amazing, and I love fish. But I think they just get quite samey. You think they just swim around, you drop food in there every once in a while, and then you leave them to do their thing.
Yeah, I mean you can't really do much with a fish.
You can't pick it up, you can't pet it, or it'll die.
Yeah, can't do that on hand.
Pick it up, it'll start suffocating.
Also, basically, Starfallen said it wasn't a flex. I was showing how much of my childhood was spent on WoW. So, but
True.
Akula Class has a question asking, "What are your future stream goals?"
Future stream goals? To get games done. Definitely to get some games done. I want to be sure that I finish off games that I start on stream. For example, Resident Evil. I started that, and as much as I'm putting that off because the fighting is interesting, I will get it done. I gotta get it done. But Other than that, I think it's just to hopefully make people smile, and maybe grow bigger one day. I don't know.
Okay, I got you. And let me see here really quickly. I think that might be it for the questions on hand. So, with that in mind, that will be episode 49 of Shoot the Breeze.